Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Oh, well, good morning. Look what God dragged in.
Wow.
That's too much?
At least it's fresh.
How come we don't ever have to adjust the sounds again? It's a beautiful world for us.
Yeah, thank you, Jinxie.
But I don't understand what you're worried about. Tell them what I'm doing.
You're badly trying to mimic.
Something's wrong with the sound.
Yeah, you're not cutting off any words, though. You're just...
Oh, well, then I have to go to that
you're
guy.
You're just taking long pauses between sentences.
There was a really big hack in the 80s who did the... I forget his name, but he did the... Oh, go to hell.
Yeah.
He did that bit.
Yeah, more than one person did.
More than one person
The
did.
kung fu bad dubbing is the...
Hello.
Is what Andy's trying to translate.
Yeah, but I bet someone good, like Michael Winslow, could do it well.
Sure.
I mean, there's a way to make it funny.
I think he did. I'm almost certain, in fact.
Oh, man. Happy Monday. Am I wrong?
You are wrong.
What? Do that again. I'm working on my drink takes.
You are wrong.
Do you realize I ruined my sip of coffee for that bit?
Well, I'm kind of glad.
Hey, Josh, I have, did you watch the movies that we were supposed to watch together?
What were the movies?
The Mortal Storm.
I did not watch The Mortal Storm, no.
That was...
Jesus Christ.
How short I am. I can't stand it. I'm so tiny. I have tiny little...
Would you like to get your phone books together and call me back?
I do, because I have tiny little legs on my tiny little feet. I got my tiny little words go peep, 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 right?
Yes.
Now, I'm a short person. I was delighted in that song.
I'm glad.
They have little mouths that go peep, peep, peep. Right? And then the best part, I've said it a million times, the bridge. Saw people just the same as you and I.
A fool such as I.
All men are brothers until the day we die.
It's a wonderful world short people got.
Holy moly. Now, that guy wrote good sarcasm.
He did. Irony, even.
It's probably more irony than sarcasm.
More irony than sarcasm. But both were present at times. Right.
Well, look, I only know one word for real. I only know sarcasm. The other words, I understand. I've had different... I got into not an argument, but for a couple of years, I believed that it was more complicated than people thought. So it was like if you avoided taking a plane ride because you're scared of planes and you took a train and the train got into an accident and you died, that's supposed to be irony. Which it is.
It is, I would say.
But it can't be the only version of it.
No, it's not. It's just the only one you seem to be able to conjure.
But I still think a lot of the background of our relationship is you saying I'm an idiot.
No,
I still
it's
feel
me
that's
saying you're so smart. Very smart. Very smart. Is what I say.
Sir.
You're very smart.
Sir. I do believe I'm very smart. And
I know.
It's playing the dumb guy bit that just bothers me after a while.
Yeah, well, switch it up. Switch it up sometimes. Maybe go 5 years one way, 5 years the other way.
Well, it's like how I'm sure Teller feels. He's got so many great things to say, and the other idiot's talking. You can't tell me that guy could not at one point go, after 20 years, after 15 years, you are the biggest fucking asshole I've ever met in my life, Gillette. And no, going on The Apprentice was not a good move, you fucking stupid.
Well, he has no trouble speaking off stage.
I know he does, but he's kind of like... Isn't he kind of like a nicer version of Penn Jillette?
I don't know if he's necessarily nicer. I think
he might not be that nicer.
I don't know.
He doesn't seem nice to me.
I don't know that he's necessarily nice. I mean, I think he's probably,
They're both.
By all accounts, he's an interesting hang.
Oh, have you hung with him? But he doesn't talk.
I said by all accounts.
But he does not talk the whole night.
He does talk.
What are you talking about?
Point. He talks.
He does not talk.
Yes.
You've seen the act, right?
Harpo Marx talk too.
Oh. I get it now. I'm the dumb guy getting it. Oh. That's great. I feel better now.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to play the insistent smart guy character sometimes, too.
No, I think you do it very well. No, my young, stupid friend. I know you believe that. Okay, so Mortal Doom, the Mortal Doom.
What is the
First of all, it's not called the Mortal Doom.
Okay, good. That's the first stop on our cavalcade of information.
It's actually called the Mortal Storm.
The Mortal Storm. The
With
Mortal Storm. Yes.
Yes, sir.
I don't know this movie.
It's with Robert Young and Jimmy Stewart. It looks like I'm getting information from over here.
It does, kind of.
It's with Robert Young and Jimmy Stewart, and they're in Germany when Hitler's taking over.
Okay.
And
are they army sorts?
They are both in the army. One of them, Jimmy Stewart's like a war hero of some type. But then all of a sudden, the movie starts with
that's why I walk with a limp.
He didn't have a lot of that sound.
Now that was really more panel. Jimmy Stewart was with the really exaggerated. When he knew what he was supposed to say, he was pretty fluid.
Yeah, he was more like, yes. Would you like some coffee? Yes.
I'd like to read this poem that I wrote to my dog.
Now, would you wrote these? Tell us one of those great poems you wrote about your dog. It's so funny because your dog does silly things, and you make is it a limerick you make about him?
Not a limerick as such, but I rhyme.
Why don't you give? I'm Johnny Carson. This is a great format. Why don't you give us a little bit of it?
Why do you keep saying who you are there, Johnny?
I'm Johnny Carson because I'm one of those impressionists who, if I don't say, it's like on Saturday Night Live when they do a political bit and they go, "Yes, Mr. Gingrich." Otherwise, you don't know that they're talking to Mr. Gingrich.
Yes. Yeah, right.
So, you have a dog. So your dog died. Who cares? Who cares about your dead dog?
He was a special. He was
Johnny Carson.
Yeah, he was like a family member, Johnny.
Oh, fuck you. You know what? Why did you get so conservative after the war? You did so many great things, and then all of a sudden you're like Nixon.
I was a goddamn general in the war.
Yeah. So what happened to you, stupid? And scene. And scene?
Sure.
Well, there really wasn't a scene there to begin with. So, the Mortal Storm is about. So Hitler at the beginning of the movie, Hitler's come in, and so a couple of the guys run to the radio. Von Ribbentrop just gave Hitler the chancellorship job, and they're like, half the room was like, woo-hoo.
I have to say, the overhead helicopter is adding to the whole war story atmosphere.
So they're at a professor's house. Their professor, who is retiring, who is a very, very one thing he says that made me laugh. He's trying to show that these people, that the Aryan myth is not true, right?
Sure.
So he's trying to say, I am a man of science. Science is unchanging. No, that's not true. Science is not unchanging. Right. Science changes when other evidence has come. He goes, science, unchanging, eternal. So, Robert Young, who you know as Marcus Welby.
I actually know him as more as father, as Jim Anderson. Father knows best.
Jim, why are you so boring? You have a nice family, but why are you so fucking boring, Jim?
Kitten, why are you talking to me like that?
Fuck you. I'm on heroin, Dad. Just like Billy Gray. Oh, he wasn't on heroin, was he?
He didn't do well.
But why do I have to bring him in to make the movie better? I don't know,
because it was same family at least.
So the professor, all of his students are standing there, and they, after 50 years, we love you, and we this is the first scene. We love you, and we love you, and we bow to you. Acknowledged, my friends.
To serve with love.
Right, a little bit earlier, though.
Sure, I got it.
1940.
Trying to give you the flavor.
And then all of a sudden, the next scene is where, so they're all hugging each other. Robert Young and Jimmy Stewart have been friends forever. Yeah. Friends from small childhood. You could never see these two getting in a fight, ever. Except Robert Young believes the Jews are inferior and that type of... He doesn't say that. He doesn't say that. A lot of Nazis don't say that.
He did the Hitler has a point thing? Is that what he did?
Oh, here's the way it was. Someone was... when the professor is now going to be killed at some point, everyone's in his class, even the Robert Young's in his class, and he says, today we're going to talk about red corpuscles. Red corpuscles are in everyone's blood. Guy stands up.
Even Jews?
Wait a second, you. Are you telling me that the same blood that's in my vein, his man, and then so that guy is a Nazi. He says, everyone out of this class, and I'm going to be back here in a minute. All right, so now Jimmy Stewart and Robert Young. Jimmy Stewart's the good guy. Robert Young is the bad guy. And but it's all about Freya, who's this Jewish woman who Jimmy Stewart, Robert Young was in love with her, right? And then Robert Young is like, you can't talk to Jews and still be married to me. What are you talking about? They're Jews, and you know it's wrong. You're a woman. You don't deserve to have any opinions. So she has a falling out with Robert Young.
You're paraphrasing, right?
Paraphrasing.
Okay, good.
And then all of a sudden, Freya falls in love with Jimmy Stewart. And Freya, exactly. The weirdest thing, though, the last scene in the movie, and I think this is weird. You're going to also think it's strange. They're on a snow. They're snow. What do they do it when they're both on? But it's a cross country kind. Yeah, well, no, it's both cross country. It's both cross country, and then yet somehow when they get near the border,
well, there's still hills. There's still hills in
no. But I mean, they're going down as if there's the greatest course ever designed. Right? So Jimmy Stewart looking back goes, Freya, are you okay, Freya? God damn it, Freya, you can't ski, you stupid Jew. Freya, what? But Jimmy, shut up. God damn it. Fuck you. I was hoping my ending would be better.
Yeah. But he lost her. He lost her on the slopes.
No, he got her on the slopes, but I was pretending that he was treating her like Janie.
No, I got that part. And it was amusing. I was actually
Janie. You got that. You got the wrong ski on the wrong foot, you stupid idiot. I can do a little.
I would just hate to think that you conjured this movie to get to that.
I like the movie. Because it's a movie and they go, it's a patriotic movie. So you go, I don't like propaganda. This propaganda we could all agree with.
Yeah.
We are all the same, and we should not be killing people because they're Jews. So, bravo, I say to them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they had, some of the World War II movies, didn't they have like Japanese people? Oh, during World War II or before World War II, I remember they hate. I told you that thing about the East Side kids beating up a guy, the Dead kids.
Yeah.
And they, whoa, he's Chinese. Hey, sorry, Schmo. We didn't mean to. And then everything's fine.
Okay.
So there was a lot of crap made before the war as well. In fact, there was more. They say there was more anti-Japanese, anti-German feelings in World War I than there was. I mean, in other words, like the idea of demonizing your enemy preceded World War II.
Well, you can bet your Liberty cabbage on that, my friend.
That's exactly what I was saying. But the Germans were not that. You should not have hated them that much in World War I because they were just one of a bunch of knuckleheads. I mean, I'm not saying they were good. They were a good country.
Hey, stop beating him up. He's Belgian. Sorry, pal.
Here's the other thing. In this Mortal Storm movie, they get away to Austria. So it has to be like 1930s. I forgot when he was chancellor. 33, they made him chancellor.
Yeah.
But it's before Austria went, obviously. They go, I can see Vienna from here. But very soon after that, you wouldn't want to be in Vienna during World War II.
They skied right through it.
No, but this was the brief period before Hitler went into Austria. He was like, look, wasn't that where he grew up?
Yes.
So he was like, look, I'm back. What's with all the beautiful buildings? You know, Hitler fancied himself as an artistic person, though. That's the thing that's odd about it.
Yeah.
And he had a certain flair. He did know how to make the Nazi symbol more. I mean, you may not have liked his style, whatever you felt about his style. He had strong
As
beliefs.
a watercolorist, you have to respect him, I know.
No, not as a watercolorist, but they say he was a decent, whatever that kind of painting is where you just paint buildings. He said he was decent at that.
Latex exterior.
No. It's not. He was the most marvelous painter of Vienna. He did texture. Oh, this is going to be good for the three people I worked with door to door 20 years ago. He discovered texture coating. All the guys who worked with me when I sold door to door are on the floor now because that was like a thing that you sold instead of stucco that cost a lot more money and was shit.
Yeah.
Why would you stucco? Here's the thing. They go, why would you stucco? Here was their argument. Look how rough it is. Yes, it's stucco, you dumb fucks.
Right. It keeps people from leaning against your house.
But this texture coating, and you know, someone can prove me wrong. If I sold this texture coat to somebody, please straighten me out.
Did you ever sell any?
I don't think that's text coat. No. I sold all patio enclosures is what I sold. I actually sold things. Yeah. I didn't know what they were, and I only knew one. What the idea was I would knock on the door. I would give them an estimate, but I couldn't be.
I'll be here for 45 seconds. You look like a 2-minute person.
So I go in there, I measure their patio. Yeah, we may be able to. Here's the thing. I didn't even understand anything about money at this point. I didn't understand. It was 1980, whatever. Reagan had just come in. And these guys were going crazy. There was all this money that was being made. I know that there was TRW and all these companies, and these people were living in Cerritos, Buena Park, and everywhere. There was all this money. And all they cared about was what the monthly payment was going to be. And they also did not, in this case, they did not want to raise the value of their house. That was the pitch.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it raising the value. I mean, you don't have to worry about raising the value of the house because it's a piece of garbage. Patio enclosure, really. But why would that have been a positive? Because they wouldn't, if they sold the house, they wouldn't want to have to pay or they didn't want there's this before Prop 13 and they didn't want their current taxes to go up? I don't know.
I really don't know. I can't put myself into those 1977 homeowners.
No, it's not. It's 1979.
Okay, sorry.
Jeez. So then I would go out to their back area if they let me in, which I never did. And I got bit by a dog and the whole thing. Yeah. And so I start measuring and I go, look. They said, give them a general price, but don't give a price is the thing.
Right.
But I had to pretend for that couple of minutes that I knew construction.
Right.
So I would measure the thing. Yep. Then we could do it. And here's was my big thing. Might have to relocate that meter.
The mouth move is everything. I'm afraid. Well, I feel bad. I feel badly for the people listening.
So that's all I could do. And it was a bad job because I didn't have any facts.
All right. You could
and
just
it was
go.
and it was a terrible thing. It wasn't that terrible. It wasn't like selling. What would be something that would be like vacuum cleaner? Well, you could sell a good vacuum cleaner door to door, right?
Right.
What would you be? It's only somewhat of a ripoff.
Bibles is pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That was a good documentary. Was it the Maisel brothers?
Yeah, Salesman.
Yeah.
One of the greats of all time.
Man, I love that one. I don't know what you see. That's why I don't do the movies anymore. I bring nothing to the table.
You really made a meal out of moral bang bang, whatever that was called.
But let me tell you,
moral imperative. What was it? The moral storm.
The moral storm.
Right.
But here was another thing that was a lot of fun that you
watch Jimmy Stewart emerge triumphant.
You are so much funny when I'm listening. So, TCM has what I would call a delightful lineup of light-hearted fare this month.
Sure.
But here's some movies that I used to use as references. But now I realize that my references Okay, so I used to go, that's about as good as Please Don't Eat the Daisies. Well, now I find out that Please Don't Eat the Daisies was a movie with Doris Day.
Right.
I thought it was a sitcom. Was it? Did they try to make it into a sitcom?
I think there might have been a sitcom.
Okay, so that was what I was referencing in the 60s. But then I used to do this reference before I was even a comedian. Yeah. I used to watch My Friend Flicka.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right.
Now I find out it's a 1946 movie about a kid.
Oh, so what you're saying is that you used to use references that you yourself did not understand.
I did not understand.
Yes, okay.
I thought My Friend Flicka was a movie from my childhood. Now, I used to use Sky King, but Sky King was an actual reference of a guy who would be a member of the Yukon Mounted Police, and he would, at the end of every episode, go, "We did it again, King," who was his dog. "We did it again, King." Every time. Well, King, King never responded.
That was good.
King was a dog.
King, yeah, he wasn't even on set. They got all of his stuff at the beginning of the season.
What's Opie? You ever hear Ron Howard's story about appearing on Lassie? Where they say he's playing with Lassie and they go, "Don't fuck with Lassie's close up, kid." Because he was trying to pet the dog.
Yeah.
No, don't fuck with. Well, I'm sure they didn't say don't fuck with it, but they were angry. Well, but Opie survived very well from being a Hollywood kid.
But he was, he was well parented.
Right. By Mrs. Grazier. Okay, so, then here's the movie that, should I see this movie? It looked like a good movie. What's Up, Doc? With Barbara Streisand.
And Ryan O'Neal, directed by Peter Bogdanovich.
Oh, so it could be either way,
right? It's a classic romp.
Is it bad, though, or is it good?
I used to watch it yearly on network television as a child, and I haven't seen it since, really. So I remember a funny Volkswagen chase scene at one point. I remember, I think, you'll probably like it.
Wait, but Barbara Streisand, isn't she? This is pre
This is like 1972.
Oh, so she's a funny lady. She was already a funny lady.
She might not have. She probably did Funny Lady already, yeah.
Then, here's the other one. Should I watch the original Star is Born with Janet Gaynor, Frederick March? That sounds like the best one.
I don't know. There's always Judy Garland and James Mason.
I thought you were going to say my favorite one, which is Gaga and Handsome.
That's supposed to be a decent movie, which I never watched. But
I know. I'm putting it down because I didn't see it. Yeah, it was supposed to be decent, right?
Yeah. I watched last night. I watched what's it, like the massive weight of the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Yes, the unbearable lightness of being.
No.
That's on TCM.
Different movie.
Well, it sounded like we were both doing the same movie, but we couldn't do it. So what was yours?
No, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is a Nicolas Cage movie, a comedy.
I don't believe. Oh, is it really?
Yes, and it's fun.
Okay, so this is
Nicolas
way before.
Cage plays himself, sort of.
Oh, I want to see. Okay, what is this on?
It's on the cables.
Here's going to be a couple of things that people think are going to make people think. One thing that people would think that I fulfilled the Jewish stereotype. We wanted to watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta from the first season, as you know. So the only place it was on Peacock.
Yeah.
And so I go to Peacock, and there's not a lot of stuff. There's getting more now.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to pay $10 a month. I just paid the $5 a month. So I still watch it with commercials.
Yeah.
But the commercials are not bad at all. They're like the old days where you could go up and get a drink or something.
Yeah.
And they tell you 1 minute, 30 seconds. But isn't that a little Jewy? I mean, stereotypically Jewy?
No, I don't like to buy into those things. I think you're just cheap.
I can see you forming that. I don't buy into stereotypes. You're cheap.
Yes, I think that's all it is. And I think you like to brush it off as a Jewish trait.
You know what? Finally, I realize it's not the Jews who are cheap. It is I.
It's you, yes.
It is I.
It's a Jew by Jew. It's a Jew by Jew.
Jew by Jew.
Thing, yeah.
So, you just said what you had seen. Anything else that you?
I saw that Jonah Hill Eddie Murphy movie.
I thought that looked fun. I'm not kidding you. Before you say anything, that movie looks funny to me.
Well, you should watch it and then we can discuss it. I don't want to.
Is it not funny?
I don't want to put any mojo, any juju on it. I don't want to put any cheap juju on it.
It seems like there's a lot of over the top stuff, but it also seems like some of the stuff is funny.
Watch it. I want to hear your thoughts.
You didn't like the movie, right?
No, I didn't like the movie.
But did you hate it?
Only at times.
Okay. Did you like Stutz, though? Because Stutz is excellent.
What is Stutz? I don't know Stutz.
Stutz is the movie with Jonah Hill and his psychiatrist.
I didn't see it.
All of a sudden, I like Jonah Hill more.
I'm not prone to liking Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill, to me,
I just said I'm beginning to like Jonah Hill more.
Ah, good.
And why do you not prone to like him?
Because he seemed to get one of the worst cases ever of get famous, get douchey.
Now, I have heard that he's not pleasant.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm not.
But I don't understand that. He seems pleasant in the. I mean, like he's talking to Dr. Stutz. But even Dr. Stutz.
I mean,
why didn't Dr. Stutz say
you seemed
idiot?
pleasant in the movie too? By the way,
who
you?
Wait a second. Now, this is very interesting because I always thought he must be really kind of an asshole at times, right? If everybody knows about it.
That's the impression I get. Yes.
So, but you don't have anything like Richard Gere was in the hospital room with the gerbils or any of those fake stories that are proving it.
Well, no, I wouldn't tell it if I did.
Oh, you really wouldn't? Okay, but you would tell me off air?
Maybe. I'm not looking to slander anybody, but
well, here's the thing: we're not looking to slander. We're not looking to.
I'm not basing this on I guess much, a little bit, but not basing it on insider information. It's all publicly available data that I'm basing my opinion on.
No, but I mean, it's like if everybody has heard it, it could be the most wrong thing in the world, of course, but it could also be like. I don't understand. Why is he unpleasant?
It's poison, this whole fame thing.
Yeah, so that's why I told you a long time ago that we have reached the perfect level of fame. We're still wonderful, wonderful people. We're not famous.
Right.
Right?
I think that
so
helps.
we dodged that bullet.
Yes.
So we're just regionally, it's like we're regional theater actors.
At
in
best.
A way.
At best.
At best. This is one of the most... This podcast is a searing, honest, wholesome bars. No turns, no stone unleft in the original position. We're not afraid to lift up the rocks and see the scum. That's no okay. I got away from the comedy description of the show. Now things that
Are you trying to make me? Are you trying to make me a new one, or are you trying to?
No. What I'm trying to tell people is like a lot of people think that these bumpers you make are me just doing it once, but they don't realize that you have me do it. And I say, why do you have me keep going? Because each time is different. You claim.
Well, you know what? Here's a fun fact: is you're the only thing looped in those. I am singing the whole part of
course.
Everything else.
No, that we know. There is no existing loops of harmonies to my ee-ooh-ah-ah-ah song.
No, but even if I repeat it all the way through, I'm singing it each time as opposed to just taking a measure and repeating it. Yeah.
Oh, that I didn't know. So
I'm doing it like an instrument performance, basically, all the way through.
I think that's the way to do it.
No, I think it's a huge mistake. But in the case of this last one, it was fine because it sort of suggested a slightly out of tune kind of.
What are you saying out of tune?
What you did wasn't intended to be a tune.
Because it wasn't in a tune. That's right. You call me John Cage or John Gage, and I still don't get this too. Which one is the one I'm thinking of? John Cage.
You're a case of John Gage.
John Cage is the guy with the strawberry alarm clock.
You're John Case in a cage. You're John Cale in a salad.
Cale. John Cale is the one who was with the strawberry alarm clock and Liquid Velvet, right?
Liquid Velvet?
Liquid Velvet's closer, right? That would be a good show. I think they already did that on the Odd Couple, where Felix and Oscar turn their annoying relationship into clues. You know what I'm saying? They're playing password. Oh, you're gonna go idiot, like that.
Right.
Did I explain that well?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Man, I love that. I love that show when they did that, and they also went on Let's Make a Deal with Monty Hall. All right, that's it. That's it. I'm ready.
That to me is
not as good.
A weird double dip to go put them on two different game shows as episodes.
Yeah. No, that was a little weird.
That's a cheat as far as I'm concerned.
It was a cheat, but also a tribute.
There's
to
a big cheat in those people, the Eddie Murphy and Johnny Hill movie too. There's one of those go to the well, same well twice for a big giant gag thing.
Oh,
that bothered me.
Oh no, I don't like. You know what? Oh, here's another show.
But you should watch it so I can use.
I will watch.
So I can use the homework sting.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. Well, like, what's her name is playing a Jew I've never met, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
A Jew that age like that?
Yeah.
She's 27, isn't she?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
No, I know she's 62, but even at 62, she's talking like a Jew from the 1800s. Almost.
It's not a real character, as Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's, as far as I'm concerned, her character is the weakest link, probably.
Okay, well, also, if the father is really a Muslim...
Yeah.
He wouldn't necessarily like the guy they always bring up, Farrakhan,
right?
Because Farrakhan's not he's a what's this called? He was a black Muslim,
right? That's what he is.
That's what he's in this movie.
Yes,
but that wouldn't be true. Is it today? It's happening.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They still exist. There is a Nation of Islam Muslim.
Yes, but. What I'm saying was the thing that was wrong was saying we saw Obama in a picture with Farrakhan. That's what they would always try and do. It was like if you saw any black person near Farrakhan,
they hate Jews. Yes.
Yeah, or saying because Farrakhan would go on because I watched this thing where he went on some show. I think it was Ted Koppel, and he was defending South Africa, and he was saying very, very things that if you didn't know that he also really hated Jews and things like that, it makes total sense.
Right.
That he's saying to them, like, you're going to be America's going to be the big judge. It's like Reverend Wright. Good. Not so good. Okay. It went too far. The anger is right. I mean, the anger is right. I mean, now I actually get angry at myself for previous incarnations of myself because I think when I was in high school, because of my own what's it called?
Prejudice?
When you're narcissism. I took everything, this black person's rejecting me. Yeah. They don't have any right to be mean to me just because of slavery. That was that type of stuff. So I get mad at earlier incarnations of myself because I don't think I understand. I mean, I never was like my parents, which was like, my parents would be like, Jesse Jackson did this one thing bad. And so, everything was black and white.
All right.
Like that.
So to speak.
I can. I know I'm confusing certain things, but I guess I'm dealing with that in therapy. Was the whole idea which has really affected me as a person, which is if you can find one thing that you don't like about someone.
Yeah, your parents were one strike you're out people.
Unbelievable, and then they would also get really mad. They were both one strike you're out, and how could you not understand this about that person? You know what I mean?
Right.
How do you even saying that? Well, I like Jesse. Well, they weren't that extreme, but it was a thing in the family where, like, I still don't like what's his name, not Farrakhan. The Rev
Jackson?
Sharpton. I'm not a fan of Al Sharpton.
Yeah,
but was it necessary for me for the last 40 years to say, well, he never apologized for the Tawana Brawley thing? Is that, in other words, like that was kind of like I kind of hated him for that. That's a very white thing to do. In other words, that's a very white thing to do is to say, well, he was wrong once, so that everything he did is bogus.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a white thing to do, but it's a small-minded thing to do.
Okay, well, I'm
depending on the thing, depending on the one thing.
Oh, I think white people. I think it's a white thing to do in my culture. That's what white people do.
Bill, I don't know if that's true. I think there's probably black people that are the same sort of dismissive. I don't think that's the.
Okay, I'll tell you what I mean. Like do the right thing. Yeah. When I was watching Do the Right Thing, I loved Mookie. I loved all of it, but I didn't as much get why Spike Lee would react to Totoro by saying, don't fucking joke about Sharpton. Because it was racist how the Italian John Totoro was acting.
Right.
Oh, you like that Reverend Al Sharpton? You know, I'm saying there's not the black and white, the no gray areas of things. That's what it was. Because I still don't like Al Sharpton, but I don't have to hate him. You know what I mean? It's like
right. But I think, I think it's a movie, and character, as long as it's true to the character, then that's.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about white people generally having a different view of Al Sharpton than black people would have. That's
I think that's absolutely true. But
and then me at that time going, oh, how come, wanting black people to go, he said this. So in other words, like wanting black people in a certain way buying into you had a picture with Farrakhan. Right. I mean, it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
though,
but Al Sharpton, but no, it's also not fair to forget that Al Sharpton presented himself like a fucking Gloria Allred style charlatan for years. No,
I agree with you. I agree with you, but okay, I'll say it this way. Let's take Al Sharpton out of it.
Okay.
Let's put another person.
That's what I was trying to. That's what I was doing.
Let's take Al Sharpton out of it. Put another person in there.
All right.
This idea that people, I have to hate them forever, or there's no good to them.
Right.
That is from top of my parents.
Yeah, I believe.
It's not necessarily a white thing. But
right. That's what I took exception to.
You're right. You're just saying.
Whereas my parents like definitely would develop scorn for people, but they also they were pretty much like myself, they were pretty wide berth they gave people a pretty wide berth to operate if they weren't being constantly surprised by them,
But my parents did too. It was like my parents would never have been like, oh, Jesse Jackson's too angry. But like my dad, one of my dad's explicit lessons, of which there weren't many, was don't vilify the people you disagree with. I wish he had been there.
Well, he was a lawyer too. It benefited him to use that in life.
But it's a very, very, very good thing that he taught you.
It is, but I find myself.
But you can't use it all the time.
You can't use it all the time, and I find myself even when I'm listening to our podcast going, where did that moderation come from? Where I'm just where I can always find the other side's point of view on some level, and it's but that's I don't even want to be that reasonable.
Yeah, but that's just because you're in the real. That's the reason is we're not editing the podcast to take out all of our what looks like in retrospect that we may have been saying giving too much credit to something or not giving.
Yeah, no, we've left a long trail of wrong in our wake over the years.
You really think you mean when you were making fun of the I don't want to do this when you were making fun when for a half day we thought that policeman was running away from the people.
Oh yeah, no, I totally minimized his contribution in the Capitol. Yeah, absolutely. I corrected it the next episode, but
that's what mature people do.
Yeah.
If you're Joe Rogan. Well, we're not Joe Rogan, but they just continue on with the same lie because their thing is based on it being not just an example, but they're right about that. It's
because he attracts the fan base in America for whom apologizing is weakness, and for whom backing down in any way, right or wrong, is still the wrong move.
Not that we haven't talked about him enough, but this guy Bill Maher is really. He's almost literally going into. Classic right wing. He's a classic right wing arguments that trans people, something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them.
Right.
And the more he gets into that, it's is that because he's hanging around despicable people, or has he always been despicable?
I think the latter.
Yeah. I said something all he does is sit around and smoke weed all day. And I corrected it on Twitter. I going, look, I love weed. But then someone on Instagram was going, oh, that's a bad thing now. Yes. In his case, a white privileged douchebag sitting around smoking weed and not getting anything but further hate out of it, or not getting any insight, or not even getting that much fun about it. I don't think he's a cool guy because he smokes weed.
Okay.
But
you're having an argument with someone else, not me.
No, it's not an argument. It's like I'm saying, I'm trying to say to you, listen to what I'm saying. Like a liberal, like you know how they say Bill Maher's liberal? Well, they might go, oh, he smokes pot. But that doesn't mean you're liberal that you smoke pot.
No,
it doesn't mean that you're having fun.
But I also
either.
think that anyone calls him a liberal just doesn't know Bill Maher.
Yeah, they don't know him. That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's just ignorance.
Yeah.
Well, I think he gets worse every week, and he keeps. I don't watch him, of course. I do not.
No, nor do I.
Do you believe me that I don't ever watch him?
I believe that you watch clips online.
No, I watch what people say on Saturday, and then I'll look at the clip. Right, you're right. I look at the clip of him saying some horrible things.
Right.
Yeah, wait till Saturday. I experienced the show on Saturday.
I think everybody does, based on what Twitter presents, at least.
Yeah. I know, it's unbelievable. And sometimes, and if it's...
The blowback isn't, quote, real time.
And also, if he's still trending by Monday, that means he said a few horrible things in his show.
Right.
On Friday.
Right.
And then Jimmy Dore, I can't believe all these guys aren't going to crash and burn now. This is my new thing. How could anybody, like, all these guys like Corolla, all these... Rogan, don't you think they're going to crash and burn? Or you think that people still love Rogan? And...
I think Rogan promotes a certain ride or die kind of following that I don't know. I don't know how it dies.
I keep thinking there's a bunch of people like us who got fooled by him, but why we would have never listened to his shitty show.
I mean,
his
I don't know. When were we fooled by him? I'm sorry.
No. There were a lot of people when he was the number one show. Not me and you. But a lot of people didn't know much about him, and they just thought he was like, oh, he's this cool, like, tough guy who takes acid.
Yeah.
Right? That's why he got 300 million people or whatever.
I mean, I think as much as there's probably, whatever percentage I was just talking about that's ride or die, I think there's just a lot of people who are just like, I like noise. I think the same reason they like our show. I like noise. I like conversations with jokes once in a while.
Yeah, but like Alex Jones, for example. Alex Jones, it seems to me like in the 90s, the world was worse in the sense that there were a lot more people who liked Rush Limbaugh. Maybe not people we know, but he seemed to have like a gravitas to his hideousness.
Well, that was because he had a huge audience that was based entirely off of rural AM radio signals,
Yes, yeah.
So the internet wasn't competitive with him, and if you and I was driving through the country in 1990, and hearing him being the only signal that would come through in parts of the country during the day,
right? But then soon after that, there was all the same thing here in L.A. with the regular guys and all those shows. How many people tried to copy him, right?
Right.
Like that shock jock. And a little bit, I think.
Well, I've said this many times. People are in search of leadership, and people who present themselves that way give some people comfort, I think, and
I think Rogan looks like a good
especially
general.
If they're parroting the first thought theater of the mind that people have,
But I guess I'm trying to say that there is a just desserts side to this. Although the other way to look at it, it will be another hideous person to come along. Obviously, a hideous person to come along, but
there's always going to be that void to fill. There's a huge hideous person audience out there.
Right, but I think that maybe the
flavor will change.
The flavor will change. So, well, there's two things. Will there always be evil? Probably. Will there always be these things? But when things start to fall apart, like when people really get that Alex Jones was saying, I don't think people knew.
Right.
The regular people knew that he was really saying. And when they really find out these mothers and these families were harassed of whose kids died.
Right. And
I think at some point they go, I
don't know if that's true. I don't know that, I think people have been so desensitized to the general sneer of the world right now that they'd rather be showy about their sneer than their sensitivity. You know?
Well, fuck those people. I'm talking about the ones that we can change their minds or are on the fence who kind of like
the unregistered Rogan.
No, but like the thought spiral, people could like thought spiral if they were given the opportunity.
Maybe.
But instead they went to the Rogan show.
Right.
There's no crossover between us.
I hope not.
I think that we offer is one of the is an interesting mix. It has a flavor all its own in what we do.
Yeah, it's like being at the table in a retirement home.
I was doing a Thunderbird joke.
Ah.
It has a particular flavor all its own.
Gotcha.
I still think that you're lying about
flavor
that.
on its own.
But I think you're lying, right? There is no, he never did Thunderbird.
Yes, I
as a
made
joke.
it up completely, you dipshit, yes.
Oh, but did he do anything close to that, like Paul Masson?
No, he did Thunderbird wine.
No, okay, you got me again. In a matter of 10 seconds, you had... But wait a second. Is he saying on that commercial it's not wine? It's of its own type.
No, it's saying it's wine, but it has an unusual taste all its own. I wouldn't dare compare it to some of the finer wines of France or even Inglewood.
Boone's Farm never got as much negative press as the other one we're making fun of.
Thunderbird wine.
Thunderbird wine. Oh, what's the word? Thunderbird. It must have got you drunk easy too, right?
If you prefer Night Train, keep on going down the tracks.
That's another version of it?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, you can't go into a store today.
You could still buy it. Absolutely, you can.
No, you can't buy Night Train.
A fine family of fortified wines. Ask for it by name.
Fortified wines. Well, that would be Manischewitz too, right?
Yes, I believe they give it an extra little kick in there, yes.
I never
That
realized...
way you keep the sugar alive without it fermenting into something drinkable.
I thought that they weren't... It wasn't what you were saying. Like it's... I thought it was part of the fermentation or something that made it... But they're actually adding flavor of some type.
No, they're adding alcohol.
So they're not adding... It's not wine. It's like...
It's wine plus.
There's no grapes, though. But you don't have to make...
Oh, there is grapes somewhere in there. There's a picture of grapes.
Well, anything... I'm very stupid about these things, as you know. No.
You're a very smart man. Very intelligent. I believe I met someone very much like you at Eton.
What's that? Eton.
Eton, yes.
Oh, you're referring to Eton. You call it Eton?
Eton, yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that. What's the other big one over in England? There's a couple of big ones.
The Hogwarts.
The lovable lady who hates trans people, but she also brought us the delightful Harry Potter. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker today is known for the wonderful Harry Potter books and also for increasing so much hate towards people she doesn't understand. Let's have a big hand now. J.K. Rowling will be here right now.
I don't do her, or I would have.
I know. But I do think, again, the fame thing. You get famous, and then you think you're smarter than you are.
Well, in her case, I think it was vast wealth, too.
Is what?
The same thing happens with vast wealth, and both happen to her.
Right. But it's almost worse when you're a celebrity because you think that you've written these books and that makes you right.
Right.
Like everyone says I'm one of the greatest people of all time. They love my books.
Yes. No, that is the poison. That's one of the essences of the poison of celebrity right there. Yeah.
So you actually have to admire, I actually have to admire a guy like Rob Reiner, who's pretty, he's using a celebrity, but he's consistent. It's a consistent message which he believes in, kind of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas these other people wander into things that they didn't know they were getting into. Like J.K. Rowling was not an activist like Rob Reiner.
Right.
She all of a sudden just got hoodwinked by people that this was a horrible thing that she had to worry about. And then her own existing prejudices came out.
Right.
But it's just ironic, or not ironic, but she's the one creating the wonderful, beautiful world where people who don't fit into regular things are accepted.
Yes. I agree. No, it's a horrible irony that she both created this refuge for sort of outsider-y people and then banished some of them from it.
Do you know anybody who's read the books? Have you read them? You haven't read the books.
I haven't, but I do know people who have. Yeah,
like Elon or anybody.
No, like adults.
Oh.
I mean, I should put that in air quotes. Adults.
Well, then there's also people who were into the Lord of the Rings when they're adults too.
Yes, absolutely.
And that would be more.
That is absolutely not me either.
How many rings are there total?
I don't know.
Does it take place during medieval fakey? Is it fakey medieval times?
Middle Earth? Yes, it's a whole.
Middle Earth.
It's a whole time. It's a whole time and place.
I was obsessed with Jules Verne. I just thought Jules Verne. The 3 novels I read.
Yeah.
Was like, oh my God. I read them too. So I really thought that we were all these leagues under the sea. What was his other one? He had something else in the volcano. Something was living in the volcano.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh, I love that. As a kid, that image was like the greatest to me. I guess it's made for kids in a way. Jules Verne. I think, maybe.
Yeah, young
adults.
YA.
I wrote a brilliant book. I thought it was pretty simplistic. I'm a YA author. No, that's wrong. I didn't mean to say that. I mean, I did mean to say it, but I was wrong.
You were wrong to say it, yes.
I was wrong to say it, and it was those who can't say stupid things. This is one of my favorite shows we've ever done, which means that and here's what's going to happen with it, too. Yeah. That you're going to go, I'm going to say afterwards, and I go, great job today. And you're going to say, oh, I guess you don't have to fucking edit your stupid blather. Really, Josh? I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good when you don't listen to anybody and you go on a goddamn monologue for 35 minutes and the worst thing you do, Andy, what's that, Josh? He's very upset. The worst thing you do is your dumb guy character because you're slightly smarter than him, but you're not smarter than him to make it an interesting character. You're still very, very stupid. And you're just pretending to be slightly more stupid than you are. That is a good character because of an actual dumb guy. I'm playing a dumber guy. Right? So I'm
sorry. I'm sorry. I had you muted.
But what if you really had me muted?
That would be funny.
But you're saying to make the bit work, you didn't have to actually do it.
No, I heard the whole thing. I just realized I hadn't spoken in a long time because I was off, thinking about my roof and stuff.
Oh, so what's happening with the roof? Before you hang up on me, what's happening with the roof?
Well, they fixed it Friday. They fixed it on Saturday, and then last night during the rain, it was like Hillary Clinton all over again.
What do you mean?
Drip, drip, drip.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, they didn't quite get the whole thing. It's a lot better than it was, but...
so they're going to come back now and...
He's going to come back tomorrow now. I texted him
and put more flashing up there?
No, not more flashing, probably.
I still can't believe that you're telling me, how come I can't see your roof? It is it's like a hard slate roof?
No, it's a ceramic tile roof.
You're not supposed to have that.
Why is that?
I sold those.
Yeah.
Well, you could have text coating plus.
I'm guessing these are the ones you sold.
Oh, man. So, there's no end to it.
There's no end. I hate the home.
There's no end to it.
I hate the home ownership. I got to be honest.
Well, I'll tell you something. If you were in a condo, you'd be going, wow, this is the greatest, because it's nothing but great things when you get more than one person together. And you said,
what's that, honey? Oh, no, nothing. That was the person on the other side of the wall talking.
I still wouldn't want to have my own home, like with the problems you're having.
I'm not well suited for it. Like in this case, like I'm actually feeling pretty good because I'm on top of it now. Yeah. It's the times when there's real self-loathing that comes. There's two things. There's two issues. There's the loathing of having to spend money and deal with things.
Right.
More the people coming over than the spending money. That's where the dread comes in.
Right.
People all over the place.
Yeah.
But then there's this whole other dread of, there's something wrong, Josh, and you're not taking care of it. There's something wrong.
Has that happened a lot?
Yeah, of course. There's all sorts of shit like that, and my guideline as a homeowner has always been, don't put off what's spurting water. If it's spurting water, it's not something you can.
Yeah, I mean, like my parents were into it when you're having problems with the big pipe going out to the sewer pipe, and then part of that's your responsibility.
Yeah,
they spend a lot of money on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better out here.
There's just always some pain in the ass coming down the pike, but I'm happy I have it.
Me too.
I shouldn't complain.
How come you don't hang up on me easier now? I mean, what is the point?
Because we were talking about me for a second. Sorry.
I want to say one thing to you right now, and I hope you take this the right way.
I like it.
I'm sorry. I don't like this. I don't like me today.
Well, then what chance do I have?
Oh, no. No, you see the way it was happening, though, right? You see it, and you're not lying.
You do what you got to do. Don't do it panicked. Do it deliberately.
Do we have that much time?
Do it with purpose.
Turn the whole thing. Okay.
Old man noises abound.
Hey, you know what would be funny here? And I'm not somebody who tells you how to edit, right?
Right. And I appreciate that.
Okay, but here what I'm going to tell you. Ready?
Okay, all right.
You should add like, oh my God, the TV's on. You should have seen my eyes, like an ADHD like a test for ADHD. Yeah, exactly, like that. Except I didn't have to meet anybody, so I didn't have to binocle myself.
Right.
What was I saying before that? We got so rudely interrupted.
You were all fablunged. We could start fresh.
All right. Hello?
I mean, not from the top. I'm going to leave that shit.
Can I please stop from the top?
That shit was gold.
Hello, hello, here's my new one. You ready?
Yeah.
Hello? You say hi.
Hello.
Hi, is Josh home?
Speaking.
Is Mr. Goldberg there? He's at a very important meeting. Mr. Goldberg there? He's at a seminar in Paris. Is Mr. Goldstein there?
Don't go through all of them. Please.
Speaking.
All right. Thank you. Yummy noises, every kind of noise is coming.
There's a very, very funny play that's on. Well, I don't know if it's a funny play, but I read a review about it in the New Yorker. It's about.
How would you know?
How would I know? It's a pro-choice type of situation.
Well, isn't every
play?
You decide you want to go or not? I'm sorry.
No, it's a pro. I laugh like a 4-year-old. So, in the play. I don't like this
just tilt
couch.
the screen down, you'll be taller. Okay. There you go.
So in this play, it's pro-choice. So, but it's like totally not like it's what's it called, irreverent, and it's not trying to show the other side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like it stars a bunch of like fetuses who are dressed in skin tight things, and they have purple veins, and
purple veins.
I don't know how he does, folks. I don't know how he does it. I said to people a long time ago that this guy, he can make a joke out of anything. Now imagine my chagrin contacting them to say he can't really. Okay, so there's one thing about how like I was going to be a doctor, like all the fetuses were saying.
Right.
I was going to be then in the end. Reginald, you're going to be a drunk. Stop pretending. And the other one goes, I was going to be on Tiger King. It sounded delightful and reminded me of my time in the theater, and it made me want to go back to the theater for a little bit.
Yeah. I thought you meant the womb. I thought you wanted to go back to your time in the womb from that.
Look, have you heard me talk about my mother?
Not today.
Yeah, but you've heard me talk about it?
Oh, I've heard it.
You want me to go back there?
If you want to go back to the womb, I think there's some stuff to be mined.
That's a tough womb. I told you that, right? That was a tough womb. I've had that joke for 25 years, my friend. Did you? I really? Yes.
Did an old man give it to you on his deathbed from him?
I'll tell you right now.
For 80 years?
You're begging me to repeat the bit. People ask me when I started stand-up comedy. I started like when I was like just out of the womb. I was like, I'm a minute old. What else is in the news? I love the idea that would be the first question a young stand-up comic would ask. I enjoyed it
as well back in the day.
Oh, well, now I think you're getting into a different thing. You're getting into a Doug Benson territory.
Is something happening with you and Doug Benson?
Oh, feud. Big feud.
Okay, just don't get me involved because I've already...
No, you are involved because people are commenting already online. I agree with Josh's take on it. Oh, that's exactly what Josh wanted. More attention towards his opinion, which he doesn't even have a strong opinion about.
No, I just felt he was a dick to me that day.
That one day.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, I go online yesterday, and he comments about... You don't know. He's like a weird guy because he doesn't act like he cares about anything, but then he'll show. He's like a little bit. He's not like Gervais where he's hanging out but he'll all of a sudden impose himself onto a thing where you wouldn't normally think he'd be like. So someone was talking about playing the improvs and how Rob Schneider played the improvs and he was horrible. This is 2011. He was horrible, and it was all like, "You can do it." Does he have a thing like that? You can do it.
I don't know.
You can do it. You don't remember it?
Keep saying it.
You can do it.
Okay.
He had all these T-shirts. You can do it.
This is Rob Schneider?
It's from 2000. Yes, it's Rob Schneider.
Okay.
What about Rob Schneider?
I don't know that bit.
I like pretending that I'm annoyed. Yes, I said Rob Schneider. Who would it be about now?
I know you were still a super fan in those days. But I had already left the party. So
someone else comes in. And they say something about the improv, and they go, "Well, isn't just playing the improv a self-diss?" And then Doug Benson comes in, weighs in,
defending the improv. I hope.
Yes, and he's doing it, but simply. Isn't playing the improv a self-diss? No, it isn't. So I like that, right?
Yeah,
I think I'm with him on that.
You like Doug?
I like what Doug said.
Okay. Right.
He's standing up for the improv. It's not all horror. It's not all terrible just because their road system is booked by fucking levity people for years. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I did. You did not. You wish.
Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna. Well, there's a big difference between cutting it off and shortening it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Well.
So. What?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
I forgot where I was again. You have
Doug
to
Benson.
give me back.
No,
okay,
it isn't.
So
we're at
I go
no,
to
Doug
Benson's stage.
Like,
I go, it's not his stage, his page.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at his page, and he has a weird photo of himself on the page. Like, I don't even understand this. He's like he has long hair. I don't know. He's always trying to do something goofy. So then I notice that I'm following him. Of course I'm following him.
Sure. Your old pal.
Then I notice, he's not following me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. I just will reply. I said, that's it. I've known you since 1988. I've known you since you did your David Byrne Stop Making Sense. I could have had a V8 joke. Do you remember it?
No, I was not tuned into Doug Benson.
Okay, but
I know what. I'm sure it was. I could have had a V8.
Yes. But also this, he went down his arm. I could have had a V8 down his arm.
Okay.
That has to do with something on Stop Making Sense.
Sure. Yeah, it's all moves from the big
Okay,
suit.
well, in 1988, Doug Benson considered that a joke.
Yeah.
Do your own math on it. So then I find some recent thing that he did, like 6 hours earlier. I just went into This is a joke. I can't remember the joke because it's so non-jokey. He goes, I just pulled into a Phillips 76 for a punk. I said, fill it up with a Punxsutawney punks. And then I did my own, and I got no response, so I filled up my own thing. So then I quote tweet, maybe we shouldn't be following each other. You can't do this, Josh.
No,
it's not that boring. It's not that boring, Josh. You can't do it.
No,
you can't do it. No, you can't do it. You're not going to do it.
It became boring as soon as I realized that this feud is based on him not following you.
Oh, no. Okay, so here's the thing.
That you agreed with him on something and then got mad at him because he wasn't following you.
Okay, so then he comes back in. And he goes, Steve Sharip has been giving me, shit about this. Not following me. Steve Sharip has been telling him, what do you I didn't know this. But he's going, you're not fucking following him. And so Doug goes, I can't follow you because your stuff is so raw. I can't deal with it. It's so out there. It's so, real and disturbing or something like that. It's just too much for him.
Yeah.
Right? So, what the hell? You got me confused.
But
by
he's
saying
happy to
boring.
chime in to Kiss Up to the Improv.
Well, but that's the same. That's the same thing he's always been. I think he years ago. This is even before the thing. I was following him. He didn't follow me. But he did follow me enough to DM me to ask me for people's numbers occasionally or a favor. Like, hey, will you be on my show? And then he ghosts me about that.
Of course,
he's too busy. He's so busy, Josh.
So after our little YouTube smoking show thing with him, and my subsequent bitching about it on the next show of ours,
right?
It was over for me. I was done.
Well, it's over for me, but here's the thing. To me, it's like I know that we can always say about me. Maybe you're taking the Twitter too seriously. Maybe you shouldn't be fighting with every zombie on there,
right? Named
Razorblade and Apple. But the truth is, sometimes things are just wrong or they're right. I have been Doug Benson's friend since way before he was funny. Way before. He wasn't funny. But here's the thing. I wasn't funny either. Right?
You were funnier.
I'm just saying that.
You were funnier. Because you not being funny is still kind of funny.
Right. However, I think Doug Benson found an amazing niche as these commenter, like doing a funny version of Beth Lapidus, basically. Yeah. So I think he's very funny in the moment. He is very funny in the moment. But it's not my fault he can't write a joke. He can't write one. Here's another one of Doug's jokes. I'm getting too old for this shit. This one right here.
Well, that touches a couple nerves for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does. Yeah, it's shit.
Yes.
And it touches all the bases.
Right.
But anyway, all I'm saying now is that it's right. It's just right. He came at, it's like, I don't care about these things anymore. These things are delightful memories to me. But when I had my feud with Bobcat, which thank God is over because we love each other, and I felt terrible about it, Doug Benson was the one saying, because you know the story already?
I don't think I know the Doug Benson.
Okay.
I don't know the whole thing, honestly.
Because I had said, the whole thing was based on, did I say something putting Bobcat down up in Montreal? And I don't think I did, but I couldn't remember. Did I say something at a party? It certainly wasn't what he was told, Bobcat, that I did it in the speech or something like that. And then Doug Benson weighs in with me personally. You say you can't remember? That makes me think like you definitely did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how he has been. I'm not going to give you the other examples of things that have happened in my life where, I can't do it because it would violate other people's privacy. But other things where he said, I'm going to stick up for you, where he specifically, I'm going to stick up for you with your fight on this, and then turned on me in the fight.
Yeah.
Turned on me. Said, oh, well, but that's crazy what you were asking for. Oh, but that's just crazy. Right. So he is this kind of personality. What do you call that kind of personality?
Not someone you should follow.
Well, why unfollow him?
Not a good friend, and I think you just go,
that's right.
Don't pretend like you're friends.
Right. And that's the thing is like beyond all the facts.
Doesn't mean, but here's where the black and white Andy comes in. Is just because you're not friends doesn't mean you're enemies.
No, you know what it is? I think ultimately what you're saying is absolutely true. And I'm going to probably sound now like I'm some kind of an egomaniac therapy guy. But there's a difference between having yourself being taken advantage of because you're still doing the same things that you always didn't like, right? Like, why would I even want to be on Doug Benson's show? I mean, it's like, why would I try to? It's like, because I did have I like this guy. We're really great friends from back in the old days, and we love each other from back in the old days.
Well, and we had the mercenary purpose of promoting our podcast.
Right.
I mean, that's why we went on together to that show, at least.
But when people say, like, who's our film guy? CJ?
Yeah.
Our filmmaker?
Yeah.
When he loves, that's his favorite thing in the world is when, not that one with you, with me alone, when Greg,
Proust.
Who's that guy? Yeah. And he could just say so much hostility.
No, but CJ posted about it's the anniversary of Josh and Andy on Doug's show the other day.
Well, that's fine, but I mean, he's just saying like he
I didn't want to revisit it, but yet here we are somehow.
No, but Doug was like, everybody can sense that Doug has this hostility towards me and towards a lot of people. But what's interesting I find about it is what he doesn't like about me is how judgmental I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yet he is dripping with judgment.
Right.
Because he's saying, you shouldn't even be doing this. You're wrong for talking about this. And he's harshly judging me on it.
Right. And as we know, never scold a narcissist. So
anyway, here's the thing. Before I die, and I mean this sincerely, I don't want to have any grudges. I really don't. I want to be able to think of anybody. I want to be able to think of you, for example, and not have a digging sensation that this motherfucker was out to get me the whole time.
Right.
Was just waiting for when I looked weak. I don't know what your plan was. You wait till I looked weak.
I was hovering over you like a Chinese balloon waiting to strike.
Like a Jewish vulture. What's the one? It's not a vulture, but what's the other ones that carve you up after you're dead? Not a vulture.
Well, vultures don't do good things when you're dead.
But isn't there another one that's even more annoying bird? That's even more annoying of like, what's another bird that goes, they just eat that. They can't wait to eat the entrails.
Like a buzzard? A buzzard is
like, I think it is a buzzard. It's probably a buzzard.
Same. They're both carrion eaters, though.
And carrion means carrion. And people a lot of times doubt my biology. Carrion means carry on. La. Don't stop me, Bruce. You're not Bruce. Josh, don't stop me. Carry on. Love is calling. But I'm doing it differently. It's a song parody. It's not carry on. It's carry on. Which means things that eat things. What does it mean?
Carrion is the dead meat, essentially.
Oh, dead. Oh, so there I see.
The meat of a corpse.
You know, I'm just saying, you're carry. Look, I sing the song "Carry On," but I sing it meaning about you, negatively.
Use it in a sentence. Andy is carrying a grudge.
This kind of, and if you like this kind of parody music, like I can't think of one example of it.
Carrying My Wayward Son.
Sitting on this is an actual song. Don't shoot the messenger. And I don't, and was it right at the time? No. It was wrong when it first came out. Sitting on a cock because I'm gay is not my line. It is an actual comedian's, at the time, serious attempt at humor.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother you?
No, it bothers me, but I can't get worked up about it.
You can't get worked up about it because in the 80s, we weren't at this position we are now where it was like, I never liked homophobic. I mean, I probably liked homophobic humor when I was watching it on Johnny Carson.
You still like homophobic humor. You still make jokes about it all the time.
No. I make a joke about my own gayness. About my own gayness.
No, that's not homophobic humor at all.
Is it anti-gay? Oh, I see what you're saying. Are you saying I'm cheapening gay sex by pretending to come on to you and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Gay love. I don't know about gay sex. Buy me dinner. Right. Buy me dinner first.
You've made me sick now. Just sick. All right. I think I've made my point. I mean, I think I certainly. But the point is this. My opinions about Twitter have changed. My opinions about everything have changed in a certain way. Yeah. I just don't I really don't care anymore about certain things. How can you care about Twitter? You're throwing a pebble in a river that's not even your river. It's like there's a few people who you like, and they're like-minded people, and then it's overrun as a right-wing sewer. Why are you getting? Are you not also getting these things in your timeline? That's like, hey, I'm a doctor, and I say absolutely no vaccines. MD. Verified.
No, I get very little of that.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I've always been sort of my own little thing.
Oh, so your algorithm is more vaudevillian stuff. Andy Borowitz feed.
Don't get Borowitz in there, thankfully. But I think your problem is that you're probably looking at the For You. That's
what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm only.
Oh no, I don't look at For You. I'm looking at my timeline.
Okay.
My timeline shouldn't be on my timeline, right?
Well, if you're clicking the following, then it should just be the people you're following plus other occasional Michigas.
Well, actually, I'm making a list of people who I follow who are on a I must see what they're saying list. I have about 25 of them.
Yeah.
You're not on it. Ba, ba, ba. What a funny joke. Yes, about 25 people.
Okay.
So then you have to say, why are you following more than those? Why are you only because I just at this point I can't unfollow everybody.
There's a lot of follows are there for politeness.
And I also like a lot of the people I follow.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Why am I saying it like I'm a criminal? Why am I a criminal? Fuck them. I
do follow a lot less people than you and have a lot less followers than you. So that means that there's fewer bots in the mix. There's and there's a lot of people that have followed you to monitor you over the years.
Like who?
Well, like
Jimmy Pardo, probably.
I just mean like the Gervais heads. I'm sure followed you in the middle of some of these things, and there's enemies out there in your followers.
Because Jimmy Pardo once said to my manager he was worried about me, how angry I was getting, and Jimmy Pardo's pretty angry. So
yeah, but I think there is an argument that if people only knew you just from Twitter, that they are not going to get the true picture of the man.
Right. So, I guess I don't care about that anymore because I enjoy what I do, and I'm not there to be a funny man.
This is not scolding. This is not.
If you do something funny on Twitter, you might as well just throw it in the garbage now. It used to be if you had a funny joke, that would rise to the top. Now it's like if you can't skewer somebody, or take someone down. I mean, they just nobody. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what that's all about, Josh? That's all about counting how many likes you get and how many retweets you get. What do I mean they don't like it? How many people do I want to like humor?
Yeah.
Do I need 40 million people liking my bits? I didn't see you people yet. Sorry.
That's okay.
Are you going to give a review of it, or you want me to try and watch it by next week?
I just didn't want to ruin it for you by saying how much it sucked.
No. Let's give myself the weekend because I think I can get Susan to watch it with me.
All right.
Now look at this. Now, I just wanted to give another shout out to the that new podcast with Ben Lee and Ione Sky and the one with Jason Wallner. Oh, so great, ladies and gentlemen. And I think, Josh, we should do at some point down the road a duel or something. I don't know, some kind of a duel,
some sort of grand.
Yes.
copod exercise of some
Why
kind?
wouldn't it? You know why? Because it would have to. It would fall on you somehow to sync all of the schmeckles together.
Well, I don't know. I see Ben as a high tech guy. He's got his DJ gear.
Yeah, that's right. He knows more than you. I bet.
I would hope.
Oh
God,
I would hope.
Oh God, I hope so.
No, but you know so much more than me.
I listen
that you are dismissive of me.
As you know, I don't listen to pods, but I did when they premiered it. I thought it was a lot of fun and listened to that first.
Oh, I didn't know that you had when it came out.
And I saw that Ione Sky listed us as one of her her countdown podcasts on Instagram, which I thought
that is very cool.
We are not immune to when it comes to celebrities listening.
Please
to us,
flatter us.
That's where the real
but here's
juice
the thing.
comes from.
Here's what I'm saying. I listen to Ben Lee and I go, oh, no wonder I love Ben Lee. We both share the same sense of humor. He was hilarious when I first listened to him because he's singing about the Pixies. I'm gravitated. All I'm saying is great minds gravitate on
All you're
each other.
saying is,
I like people who like me. You like me, I love you. You like me, I love you. You like me, I love you. You like me, I love you.
People. They are genius people who have decided I'm funny. We love you, Andy Kindler. Oh, thank you very much. You're just a very funny man. I appreciate that much. We hate Ricky Gervais like you. Yeah. I got to go back to songwriting
let's
school.
go to questions. How about that? Before we just go crazy.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Are we saying that there's no Pickles?
There is Pickles.
I don't have her as the first one.
All right. Pickles says, this can't be an original idea, but how about a traditional Hallmark movie, but the couple consummates their love in a tasteful but hardcore sex scene using the same lighting and other production values?
Oh, my God. When did everyone get blue? Is it just take advantage
A porn
of
Hallmark movie is pretty much like Cinemax when I was a kid.
What's that? A what?
That's pretty much what Cinemax at night was porn Hallmark movies when I was a kid.
I like that description.
Cinemax
Porn.
After Dark.
Oh, so it was like sexy people that you imagine having sex together.
No,
Did
it was
they make
softcore.
out?
It was softcore porn.
Okay, this I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know people say Cinemax.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, the Cinemax. So I just thought they were making up stuff. There was a time period.
Well, you didn't grow up in your early teen years living your life through cable television.
Are they naked?
Yes.
That's disgusting. Why? Who wants to see Who wants to see these people who you respect? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. How come Pickles didn't show up in my timeline?
I don't know.
Okay, do you have Walnorta next?
I do.
Walnorta. What is the weirdest food combination you can't help but love? Test Show 294. Why did I read Test Show 295?
I don't know.
Weirdest food. I don't have many of those at all. I may not even have one of those.
Yeah.
You know what those are like? You put, like Susan likes salt on her watermelon.
Yeah, which is not that unusual, really.
It's not?
No.
Yeah.
I don't have any standouts, I gotta say. I don't have any milk and Pepsi kind of things or anything like that.
I, for some reason, love store-bought pickles combined with
funny. Funny.
Jason, Life of the Party.
Parton,
who I still, is that the show I haven't done yet?
Yes, and stop talking about it. I don't even care anymore.
Why do you so hate me so much? I don't understand. This should be charming. It should still be charming to you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Do it again.
Okay. Who is that? The guy? Is it Jason's show I haven't done yet?
Yeah, it is. But you'll get to it, right?
Whenever I throw a pounding party, I do always suggest that the attendees partake in the recreational Adderall that we provide. I don't even know what this is relating to.
Probably the Adderall situation last.
Well, there's an Adderall shortage.
Yes, there is.
And it's
thanks to his pounding parties.
What did they do with the pound? They pound it down?
No, I think it was more of an orgy like situation.
Oh, with the Adderall?
Sure.
Eastside 76 says, every time prom season, promenade dance.
He's clarifying what the prom is, I believe.
Oh. What is that? There's no such thing as a promenade dance. Every time promenade dance season comes around, I think how much different the world would be if it was called a do-si-do dance. Until Linguini.
Great use of everybody's time, Isai. Really great use.
What is it? Is Until Linguini, is that a new Mexican thing? It sounds very Italian to me.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Oh.
Perush.
Look who's back.
Perush is back.
He's back.
He's back on the Twitter even. He was
so
coming to us
him.
via the gram lately.
I know that, but I'm just in general. Is he in between research projects? What does he do? What does he do that he disappears? Oh, he just doesn't listen to the show.
Well, he gets married and has a life. That was one of the things.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Even if maybe because we didn't consistently do Perush is on fire.
Maybe that was it. You didn't do it today.
Perush is on fire.
Perush says, the Jose Feliciano "Every Breath I Take" in front of Sting is a painful cover to watch.
I have to watch that now.
Every breath, every breath, every breath, every breath, every breath.
Is that how it is?
Every breath I take, every breath I take.
No, I have no idea.
I don't even think that's a great song. I'm sorry. People like it, but
every breath you take, every move you make, every time you take, everything you make, every breath, every breath, every breath.
Wait, what was the first one that was in? Light my fire, light my fire, light my fire. Oh, yes.
That's what I was basing my characterization on.
Is that the song that you'd sing that we all found delightful? No, you sang the theme song to Chico and the Man. How'd it go?
The man is so hard to understand.
Oh, God. It brings tears to my eyes.
The man, he don't trust you. He think you're trying to bust up all his dreams. But
do we put that song?
He don't know you.
Is that one of our top songs?
You got your own crazy hopes and schemes. Because
you sound a little bit like Fire Jose now.
And a new day has begun. You can see the morning sun if you try. Dado.
Oh.
I'll cut some of that out.
And yes, they will. Come on, but bring it home at least. I just realized hee-ho, I forgot, means Chico, right?
It was just an abstraction that made you laugh years ago.
No, but is that one of the lyrics in the song? Chico.
Chico is what he
discovered.
Said. I just had it stuck in my head, and I was singing it out loud so much that I started abstracting it. And then
I just don't.
Then all it took
was
me going hee-ho, and you would lose it, and that's how it happened.
Well, I'm saying on my own time, I'm going to see if those lyrics hold up like Gilligan's Island, for example.
Yes.
Dan Marsh says, hey, guys, what's the most angry a booker, club owner, or other employer has been with you? This is very easy for me to answer. It was the owner of the Rascals Comedy Club, the manager, who I think it was, as John Ridley pointed out, they had the Godfather posters on their wall, not as a, ironically or as a comment or sarcastically. They enjoyed the mafia. And I was late for the show.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he was mad.
Yeah.
And he was very nice to me, too. And he was a very sweet man to me because I never got a laugh at that club. And he knew I wasn't getting laughs, but he liked me personally. So when I was like an hour late for the show, oh, God.
Oh, boy. That's not professional.
I used to do that all the time in New York. I would do it all the fucking time. I witnessed
you miss your introduction taking a dump at your hotel room.
I got to go back to the hotel.
Okay, but
do you have to? You don't have to, right? You do it because you want to.
Time, Andy, but okay.
Chaotic Neutral says, I'm 45 years old, but that's before you adjust for inflation. Back in the 70s, someone my age would have been 36. That is true. but I think it's just too confusing. I don't get it.
Yeah. But it's true. People did both photographically. There's proof that that younger people were older back then, and there's also just I don't know. I'm about to turn the same age as my dad when he died, and I've got more going for me. I really do. I'm springier.
So you're saying that people look more weathered at younger ages, or like life.
They
living.
used to, yes.
I wouldn't even know that. Is that why John Garfield? What was he, like 19 when he was in those?
Seriously, do you see a 65-year-old man when you look in the mirror?
No, but I thought that's just what everybody does when they age.
No, I mean, I see a fucking 51-year-old, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, but we're talking about me, not you. That was like did you see how much viciousness I got into that thing? We're talking about me, not you. Why are we talking about me? No, I always pride myself on looking extra young.
Nurse a Popeye. There. Pop.
Uh-oh.
Pop I. You put the I in
that's my
Popeye,
joke, right?
Yes. BD West says, Andy, I recently became a sexagenarian. No, not the Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh is back in Oregon. Is 60 the new 80? Other than sugar, what foods do you avoid or conversely eat habitually for your health? Josh, please chime in with your quinquagenarian thoughts.
Is a sexagenarian someone who's 60?
Sexagenarian, yes.
That doesn't sound right to me.
That's true.
You should ignore it then. Don't even refer to yourself. Like at the park. Hi, how are you, young lady? I'm a sexagenarian. No, it's not as it sounds. Come back.
I didn't say sexitarian.
Yes. I think probably the big breakthrough. Oh, other than sugar. What foods do I have found I can't eat it's been for about 10 years now that I could not eat like really hot foods.
Is it spicy?
I don't think
It's just regular.
But is it spicy?
it just has too much bite.
It's just regular. Maybe we can give you more.
Don't you draw the line though, Josh, at competitions for how hot a sauce can be? Isn't that where you draw the line?
I do. I do not participate.
Okay.
I do not.
All right. Keep it going. You the way you ask questions.
Although
to me, it seems like it's new.
I might go on that Hot Wings show thing if I was asked.
Oh, do they just do hot wings?
Where you just go up the Scoville chart as they throughout the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about that hilarious commercial with Liberty Mutual where, and I don't know what it even means, but it's a pie eating contest. They start the contest. All of a sudden, birds are attacking. I don't know why it's funny.
I don't know why that one bothers you so much. Really.
I don't know why it's so funny, Josh. And I stab myself in the throat.
Yeah. Sous Vide says the memory of Josh rolling out the details of Jay Leno's motorcycle accident to Andy's muffled cackles keeps me warm through this literal and emotional winter of ours.
You know, I have to say this is like, I'm going to like that. I like it very much. I'm going to take time during the show. There's something about that you can't help but find the ridiculousness of what's happened to him.
A 75-year-old man getting clotheslined off a motorcycle is funny no matter what. Now you make it Jay Leno, there's no way. There's no way you're keeping your shit together. See?
I just find it's like, it used to be I was against him for whatever reason.
It's only 5% less funny because of the burn, too.
Oh, well, that's...
But only 5. It's only 5% less funny. Because it's funny that even after the burn, he's like, I'm going to go test the Indian. My
face, I used to have 75-degree burns in my face. I'm going to have to delay my Hermosa Beach gig for 3 days.
Luckily, the gas tank doesn't touch my skin graft, and I'll be fine. Oh, clothesline!
Please, can you, dear Hermosa Beach patrons, I hope you don't mind that I'll be sitting down during the show, my Sunday show, which still goes on many, many years after the Tonight Show.
Maybe you didn't see my guest spot on The Wire.
Johnny Whoop says the thing about a dog playing professional basketball.
On The Wire. That would be if he could come up with a joke that good, I'd be very happy. Go ahead.
Thank you. Johnny Whoop says the thing about a dog playing professional basketball is that you love its aggressiveness taking contested 3-point shots, but not when it barks and attacks the UPS guy.
I don't know what this is based on.
I think it's based on Air Bud.
I never saw that. Is it good?
I never saw it either.
Isn't Michael Jordan in one of those movies?
Not The Wire. Or not Air Bud, rather.
Not Air Bud. Oh, okay. A third Drew.
No, Greg Kelly says, starting to make spring break plans, and I was curious what James Mason had planned for late March. I know not to ask to stay at his Malibu place again. Well, as always, I'll be heading down to Cabo to be in the Thunderbird party tent outside of Sammy Hagar's place. That's for the last week of March, of course, just leading up to the holiday. And then, of course, I'll take a week to recover in Palm Springs, and then I'll probably go back to heaven.
Do you know that I actually found that Thunderbird clip? I really couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. And in the commercial, it's kind of like a big, it's like sold like scotch almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sold. It's like, it's not just, they're not pitching it as wine so much as it's an unusual taste all its own. Thunderbird wine.
I can't believe that. I am mad about him doing. Wait, but now, okay, what you did miss was Schmendrick is a wonderful.
I like to swish it around in my mouth after toothbrushing.
You missed a third Jew, didn't you?
Maybe.
A third Jew. Schmendrick is a wonderful and underused Yiddish word. That's true. Also, 5,000 or Jay Leno's motorcycle helmet full of nickels. Which would you prefer?
Yes, that's what he's asking. Which is a better...
the motorcycle helmet full of nickels. No, 5,000. What would you do?
Well, I would laugh at the joke first, and then I'd take the $5,000. Emma Marks.
I don't think of Schmendrick a lot. Okay, sorry.
It is a good Yiddish word, however.
Well, thank you.
Emma, you didn't write it.
I'm sorry.
Emma Marks,
I didn't write it.
Emma Marks says, settle a debate. Is the new Night Court season 10 of the original series? It exists in the same universe, has knowledge of past characters, but a mostly new cast and production crew. I would say technically, if you're going by the Night Courtiverse, yes, it is the next season. It's a continuation rather than a true reboot.
But Emma, I just have to say, right now, everything is being remade. Everything. Every show. Quantum Leap, The College Years, Saved by the Bell, even younger. There's literally, I'm exaggerating, but I've noticed probably 10 or 15 shows. They're based only on shows that have been before. Has to be a new movement.
Well, what I assume is because it takes such a smaller audience to make something a success these days.
Right. We'll just take that.
Well, yeah, you go, all right, this 15, I'm making up numbers out of total thin air. You go, 15 million people used to watch this show every week back in the day. If 1 million of them still feel a warmth for this show and tune in, it's a success.
Yes, I can see there's a naked. I
mean, that's the pure. That's the pure economics of it, is what I'm assuming.
Right, like I watch Real Housewives of Atlanta.
It's not just like no one can come up with a new idea. It's people don't want to take a risk, and to them...
Right. Yeah. For those people who are coming up with these recycled ideas, they would not be at the front of the line of people who had new ideas.
It just depends who it is. I mean, if it's someone who had successful series and now they go, I want to do Alice again. Then they're going to get a deal,
That's true. But you know who gets hurt? The viewer, once again. That's all I'm saying.
The viewer has many, 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 many choices now. So,
yes, that's true. And I'm actually excited about that. Richard Cole says, Josh, I had a test date with my new love interest this week. Your advice helped.
Excellent.
She wants to take me out. What was your advice? You'll tell me later?
Sure, I'll tell you later.
Okay. You interrupted me this time. I was ready to go through the whole
He was
question.
talking to me, and I just said, I'm glad.
Your advice helped.
I'm glad.
Please allow me to finish. She wants to take me out next time.
She wants
Spike,
to take me out next time. She
wants to take me out next time. Spike, thanks for being so open and confessional about taking LSD. 100 to 200, indeterminate number, acid trips is admirable. It explains a lot. Look at Richard. I know sarcasm when I see it. All right, that's all I'm saying. I know what you're talking about.
When you said that number last week, I just flashed right to Timothy Leary at the Improv being fascinated by a payphone.
Oh no! he did thousands of times.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. You know what? Did I say 100 a couple hundred times? I meant like 4.
Yeah, a day.
I did it. I exaggerated because it's fun to do on podcasts.
You lived on acid through college, is what it sounds like.
I think I've done it maybe 300 times.
I believe it.
Okay.
Dan Marsh says, Josh.
Now, what do you mean you believe it? That's just a put down.
No, I believe it.
Okay.
Dan Marsh says, Josh, it's been established that you don't like people trying to give you a pep talk. But what about your own internal dialogue? Do you ever cheer yourself on, or do you find motivation a different way?
Wow, that's a good question. Dan Marsh, as they say in cable news, that's a question.
I'm quite capable of being proud of myself internally. And I don't pep talk myself so much as just go, stop it, everything's fine. I shake myself out of spirals that way. It's just like,
right.
All right, look at the empirical data. Everything's fucking fine. Relax.
That guy, that's the guy. That's your higher power.
Sometimes it's have a sandwich. Just have a fucking sandwich and relax. You're hungry. You're being a baby.
Does that work, sandwiches?
Sometimes. If I find myself if I find myself angry at the dumbest fucking thing,
yeah, like me,
there's usually hunger involved. I find.
Do you like me?
Yeah, if I'm angry, you go, Josh, have a sandwich. Do something like that.
No. I think you're saying you're angry at the dumbest thing, and I think I'm the dumbest.
I understand. I didn't want to play along.
Neither one of us are good at that. Christopher Citro says, in 1954's Them, huge radioactive ants colonized LA's storm drains, leaving the city with just a few flamethrowers and James Arness standing between Angelinos and annihilation. If giant ants were stomping through your neighborhood hunting for sugar, what would you do? This is something I really was scared about when I was a kid, because I'd seen either a documentary or whatever about the army ants.
Yeah.
I remember this thing where...
In forced perspective, so they looked huge.
No, they seem to devour entire villages. Either I watched the wrong thing, or you're like, and you can't seem to get away from them.
Right.
In my imagination.
So what would you do?
Oh, they're a block away now. I always run.
Yeah.
That's what I do. That's the only thing I can think of. Well, I'm not a genius.
I'd take to the air.
Oh, like what? You get a... Oh, that makes good sense. That's very good. It's very good. Gee.
I'll figure out the specifics once it happens.
Now I want you
that's
in
my
plan. I want you in my annihilation shack.
I've got a Chinese surveillance balloon ready to inflate.
Walt Norda. A little... Okay. I keep getting confused.
I have a feeling like later in the day you're going to watch the news and go, oh, that's what Josh was talking about with the balloon.
What? With what?
With the balloon.
The balloon?
Yes.
I do know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But what were you saying? I don't remember it now.
I know.
Fuck you, Andy. What? Do you like big butts? Are you able to lie is a question. I don't know if that's a legitimate question. To me, that's like a joke question that you ask on you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're dealing with serious topics here, Walt Norda.
Sir Ask a Lot.
I love Sir Anything. I really do.
Well, but he's making a joke about a song by Sir Mix-a-Lot, so it was especially on point.
I did not get that. I wouldn't have gotten that in a million years. That Sir Mix-a-Lot did this song called "I Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie." What's that voice? Is that like a...
that was, I think it was Sir Murmin-a-Lot.
Carry on. Cedric the Third.
Are you waiting for me to read it? I will.
Yeah.
Cedric the Third says, isn't it funny how we all joined other Twitter-like apps for a couple weeks, but then realized they were lifeboats for a voyage we all deserve to drown in?
Well, Cedric the Third, I do think that what you're saying is true. If this goes away, we will not probably be on Mastodon. We will just not be. We will have lived this phase of our life.
I think that's true. I don't know if that's necessarily true. There might be another thing that captures our imagination, but it won't be a Twitter clone.
Right.
Because, but that's absolutely true. I mean, I did check out other ones, and it's just that the juice isn't there. There's no action. It's
not there because
what makes Twitter work is the action.
Yeah, that's true. It's the action, and it is absolutely. You put it in a way that I can't argue with it, and I'm very proud of you. John Dunbar says, it was fascinating to discover Josh's Mount Rushmore of songwriters. Which four heads would be sculpted in the comedian's version? Whoa! That's tough. That is a very, very tough one. Because I'm going to be one, so that leaves three.
Pryor's the given.
Okay, Pryor. Absolutely.
Then I go... I'm trying to think of what determined the four actual Mount Rushmore heads.
Yeah. Well, when the original ones were decided because people had just...
But I'm trying to decide between Innovator and Made Me Laugh.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So, Pryor, Lenny Bruce...
Right. But people will argue with you on Lenny Bruce, but I would put him up there.
And there's an argument against him.
How about...
I guess Carlin goes on there.
You know what the problem is with comedy is the faces that I see come to me are people I love, like James Adomian. And it's right. I guess the point is, if you're going to do it for comedy, it better have a lot more than four faces because there have been so many people who have contributed to this wonderful industry of that.
Well, and the other thing is it's just it's the exercise is an example of why you wouldn't do it for comedy because unlike other art forms, comedy expires at a rate that's way different than a painting or music.
I can guarantee you this though, Josh. People have done parodies of Mount Rushmore using comedians.
Sure.
Probably a million times. Mad Magazine-y.
But, Richard Pryor to me is the best ever.
I think you're right.
But...
I think you're right.
Or at least Richard Pryor at his best. I don't think anyone can touch him, but...
I put Hedberg up there, but I know that he died prematurely. But Hedberg, nobody made me laugh more than him.
I thought he was really funny. I don't know that he was so much funnier than Stephen Wright or Emo.
Right.
And just the strange man telling very funny joke.
Well, then it gets back to the fact, I saw him live. I experienced him live.
Yeah.
So it's more, well, I know Stephen Wright has to be, I think, one of because I think he was the progenitor of that kind of comedy.
At least the modern one, yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yes.
But I want to put Maria Bamford up there.
She always pops into my mind as modern genius for sure.
And there's nobody funnier to me. If you want to go by funny, there's nobody funnier than me than Jen Kirkman. She makes me laugh every time. So let me have an alternative Rushmore. It'll be Jen Kirkman. But you know who's not going to be on there?
Doug fucking
Karen
Benson.
Goddamn Doug Benson or Karen killed Gareth. No, Karen hasn't done anything to me. The only thing she did to me was she made $100 million. Does that sound like something that's nice to do?
But Andy,
what?
She donated the mountain.
What does that mean?
I mean, she's so wealthy.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be on it because she donated the mountain.
That's right. She actually runs the ride.
It's Mount Kilgariff. You don't hear Rushmore's not on the mountain, is he? But yet there, Brian Burke says says the post-apocalyptic show The Last of Us is excellent. Who would fare better in a post-apocalyptic world, Andy or Josh?
I think Josh would, because he's more reasonable than me and he's smarter than me. But I wanted to watch this Last of Us.
Yeah.
And even though I don't normally watch that kind of thing.
Right.
Have you watched it, though?
I have not watched it. I've heard it's pretty good, but I'm generally off-put by zombie-esque fare. I know they're not zombies.
I read a great article about it. You know, I read the New Yorker very often, Josh. And they had a lovely article about this Last of Us.
They look like zombies, but they're not.
Okay, give me one. You ready?
They're pandemic victims.
They look like dress pants, but don't. They're yoga pants. I still can't do it.
It sounds like an alarm going off when you hit pants each time.
I'm going to listen more to Ben Lee, because Ben Lee has more of like a, I can't even reproduce. He has a more of a, it's not aristocratic.
I like to think
I
like to think of it as an easy listening accent.
Yeah, but he's not like good day, mate, and she's not shrimping on the Barbie,
No,
right?
I don't. Well,
I hope there's no questions on Instagram, because I really have. I think I peaked about a half hour ago.
well, I just peeked, and there are some.
Oh, you mean you peeked at them?
It's a homonym joke for you.
Homonym
it's
jokes.
a homonym joke for you.
Oh.
For those of you who don't know, by the way, you can the questions. You can go to us at thought_spiral on Twitter, or you can right now it's following me on Instagram, and I will.
Oh, so you have to follow you.
Well, that's when you'll see the prompt that I put up on Wednesday or Thursday for the question, and then you put your question in the comments.
Where is the prompt? Is it like a reel that stays there? Is it one of your reels?
No, it's just a post with a picture, and it says Test Show 294. Leave your
and you
question.
can pump on. You can pop on it. You can schmeckle on it. You can stomp on it.
Oh, well,
all right, go ahead.
Yeah,
Please go ahead. I'm going to kill you. I swear to God, I'm going to kill you.
You can stomp on it. You can fucking stomp on it.
I never saw that series of facial expressions from you. It was like this.
Spike, if you ever go back out to the clubs, would you consider ending your show with a song?
I don't think so. Oh, yes, I will, because I'm singing now more. And the landslide, is that what he means? The landslide brings you down. Everybody. You know what? As I'm teaching myself to sing, it is almost impossible every 15 minutes not to slip into a Bill Murray thing, because just the act of holding a note is problematic.
It's too much sincerity for you.
For anybody. Because even like I was listening to your song, the Hammond organ song, which to me sounds like a church organ. I mean, it is huge.
What's the Hammond organ song?
I skipped the life fandango.
Oh, okay.
And cobwebs in the soup.
Right.
And so he sounds
a more annoying shade of Jew.
But what I'm saying is, this may not be of interest to you, and why would it be? But I'm listening to people and I'm trying to process how they sing. So like the one example where you can go is the guy from Spandau Ballet who just decided, I'm going to sing like
there's much is true.
So he's a crooner.
Sure.
Right?
A modern crooner.
So I listened to this guy. A lot of people from the 60s, they all sound like they're going to hona, mona, mona, shana, mom, boom, bing, bang, shona, mona, mona, mo. But then you have this guy, he sounds like he's singing out a little bit, like he's singing a little croony.
Skip the light fandango.
Yeah, that's it. So it's almost like a cocktail. I'm trying to figure out why that song is absolutely one of the greatest songs I've ever heard in my life. And I know, but you can't separate it from being brought up and listening to it in the big chiller.
It's a great vocal. It's a really good song.
And an unusual sounding song.
And the organ part is fantastic. That's why you like it.
I did not know that there was, and you knew this, that the Hammond organ was named after the person who invented it.
Yeah. And so we walk
It's so great. It's so amazing because it's like, to me, there's no other song of that. Here's the other thing. Most songs from that time period don't sound that, I don't know what to say, esoteric.
Yeah.
The lyrics are esoteric.
Well, I think I always assumed there's a Canterbury Tale.
Right.
To it because of the Miller's Tale. But.
Okay, now can you explain to me? I went to a school in Binghamton. It was on Vestal Parkway.
Yeah.
I heard Vestal Virgins when I went to school there. I don't understand what they're talking about. Who are these 16 Vestal Virgins?
I don't know.
And they're leaving for the coast.
Yeah, I lost them before they got to the coast.
16 Vestal Virgins.
There were 16 Vestal Virgins. They were leaving for the coast.
Here's what you could do. If you fell in love with a guy who sings while he's chewing tobacco, you could reproduce that voice. You know?
Yeah.
That's a lot of technique. Oh, strips the life. I can only do Jim Neighbor.
Surprise.
That's the thing that was amazing, right? He talked Southern-like, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as he sung, he sounded like a fucking idiot.
It fucking freaked me out as a kid.
2, 3. No, see, you're making fun of because he's gay again. This is bullshit, Josh.
No, that wasn't it, you piece of shit. Backguano says last week's show was super tremendous. All the best. Thank you, Backguano. I feel bad calling you Backguano when you're so nice.
I don't want to jinx it, but we're in a real upswing, baby.
Let's keep swinging. Daisy Petunia says, forget about eggs. I can't find rutabaga. Rhubarb and radishes and really not rare, but rutabaga is what makes me sing. Do you have a favorite rutabaga recipe?
I don't know what rutabaga is. It's not a thing, right?
I actually cook with rutabagas, not infrequently. Sometimes I will use them if I'm braising, I'll use them. And sometimes I will roast them like just root vegetables. Just use them.
And when you braise, do you wear appropriate clothing?
I do.
What does it taste like, rutabaga?
Rutabaga is like do you know what a turnip tastes like?
A little bit, yeah. I don't like them.
It's between a potato and a turnip.
Could you make me love turnips? In other words, like, you don't like turnips? Wait till you see my turnip pie.
I could make you like turnips. I could make you like rutabaga, though.
Okay, but root vegetables in general, why are they not my favorite? They're kind of like...
Do you like potatoes?
I love potatoes.
There you go. That's a root vegetable.
Yeah, but everybody loves that. I'm talking about...
Do you like a carrot?
Wait a second. You're onto something now. I like root vegetables. Wait a goddamn minute.
Nobody likes beets, so you're not alone there.
All right. No, I like beets. I do like beets now.
You fucking love root vegetables, you dipshit.
I love roots. I like anything that roots around. You just don't like a
turnip, is what your thing is.
I'm sorry to the scientists who are listening today that our intellectual level is a little bit low. I apologize to the scientists who normally listen to the show.
Munson3786 says preschool Elvis Costello.
I've been attend the hooks and the dirty looks. Listen to the music. Think about this is that. Pump it up. Pump it up!
There's something you can't cover up with lipstick and
powder! Powder!
Hey, it's giving you a winner. You ever seen this Motel Matches?
This is not Jay Leno, is he?
It really was where you were headed. Warps Your Head says, it's your old buddy Warps Your Head. Josh,
hey, Warps Your Head.
Will you ask Andy if I can borrow his 8-track? He's not using it. Oh, burn. Later, buds.
That really hurts.
Love you.
That's a good one. You're going to be so jazzed when you hear what I'm working on now.
The Light Herder says, Our Bodies, Ourselves, Alone. A book about women's health and sexuality set against the backdrop of the Irish War of Independence.
Oh, is he recommending that or he's written it?
That was, he was making a joke.
The Light Herder, I'm telling you, I was an early adopter of the Light Herder. You were resistant.
The Light Herder also says, I'm 54. What's my number?
Those are the best. Now, you know I like TV.
Just $9.99 a month.
Normally bother me. What's that?
I just said just $9.99.
But I love the guy in the produce section. Are you that guy from the Nine Line commercial? He says, like an actor playing a produce person.
Right. My wife says you're the guy from blah, blah, blah.
I said I didn't believe it. I am.
I think you should tase these people. Uncle Pete says, longtime listener, first time writer. I started listening to the test shows after I heard Andy on the morning radio show in Austin, the Dudley, Bob, and Matt show.
Yeah.
In honor of Dale Dudley getting canned. Oh.
What happened?
I wondered if you could do an impression of a morning DJ, weaving in hints about his cheating wife and getting his meds right into his normal weather and traffic patter. A Mopac joke would be icing on the cake. Much love.
Is this what happened with Dudley?
I don't know.
65 degrees downtown Los Angeles. I can tell you something now, like, how many guys out there are married and their wives are all over them about their drug use? Anybody? Now, Schminky, you were at TJ Credler's this week, right? And I saw you doing coke.
Weekend, yeah.
And you were doing a lot of coke there, right?
Oh, right off the waitress's ass. That's right.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm in the middle of. That is all I can think of is that.
You know what's funny though?
Dudley was funny.
You know what's funny though?
What?
Mopac.
I got it.
You know that joke, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, you would enjoy that joke. There's a road out in Austin called Mopac, and they always say, "Don't take Mopac, avoid Mopac." And Mopac was also the name of the first Three Stooges political action committee. That's the only sound those jokes should get.
That's right. Dan Wade says, hey guys, surprise, surprise, a Randy Newman question. You said before that comedy, especially political comedy, has a short shelf life. So how come Randy's political science still sounds fresh after 50 years?
Because it's the same, because the country's gotten worse, I think, maybe in terms of those examples.
Because it wasn't a song about politics. It was a song about small-mindedness and American exceptionalism, which hasn't gone away. Although the actual exceptionalness has gone away. The exceptionalism remains.
You know, he is a one-of-a-kind genius.
And still,
those London
no one
parades.
likes us. I don't know why. We may not be perfect, but heaven knows we try. But all around, even our old friends put us down. Let's drop the big one and see what happens.
Boom, London. Boom, Paris. Boom, more room for you and more room for me. And every city, this whole world round, will just be another. Oh, the band left. Sorry.
Yeah, they're gone. Hold on one sec. I think we're almost done. If not,
oh, how peaceful it would be.
Yes, everybody free.
Put on your Japanese kimono,
baby, the Italian shoes for me.
It's so great.
They all hate us anyhow. So let's drop the big one now. Let's drop the big one now.
Do you think we're talking about me, not you?